I am going to work in my 2017 Composite Art Journal, and I'm going to do another page for the crayons, markers, and pens April prompt in the My Year 2017 Facebook group. I am fascinated with these melted crayons. I thought of some more things that I could try. So I'm just going to get busy and work on it, and when I'm finished, I'll come back and chat with you about it. One of the viewers made a very interesting comment on, I believe it was my primitive doll video, when I said I wanted to quit before I overworked it, and she asked, what does overworking it mean? Does that mean making the colors muddy? And yes, that's a part of it, but another part of it is overworking it is, I got to try this on top of this. No, that doesn't look right. I'm going to change that. And you can get into that so much that you change it so much that you really overwork the beauty of what was. I think I'm going there on this page, but here's where my thinking was. I started out putting a blue background on there because I knew that I wanted a total blue area. Then what I tried to do was create some texture with this bubble wrap. And this bubble wrap, even though it has texture on there, it's pretty flat. And it really wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. I think if I had a bigger bubble wrap, that it might pick up that wax and make a texture. So I tried that. Then I went to just making scratch marks. And you can still see some of those in here. Then I just went into putting circles. I melted a black here, and then I tried putting little circles in there, and that was working for a while, but I overworked it to the point that you can't see them. There's one or two down in here. Then I tried using a paint cap. This paint is just about all used. I'm going to get what's left in the bottom of it and throw the bottle away. So, and I made these circles. And then I went back with my black crayon and emphasized the circles more. I'm just playing with different things to create texture. Now I could come back in here and do some more scratching, but I'm not going to. The one thing that I want to do on here is I want to work with my fine line paint applicator. Now, if you have a fine line paint applicator, and if you're working with a waxed area, I will say, warning right away, do not put the tip down on the paper. You will clog up that nozzle so fast you won't have a chance to do anything. So I'm going to hold my fine line paint applicator at least 2 to 3 inches above my paper. See, maybe I'll just try to mimic a stained glass setting. That might be a good thing to do. I also have the black one, but I have so many dark colors on here that I want to use a brighter color. So I'm going to use the white. I'm just going to go into fast forward to do this. This is where my page is now. It is cool to the touch, but it's really dry enough to work on. But here's the thing. I'm not happy with it. I have seriously gotten to the point to where I overworked it. Now, I know that this paint is quite thick, and I know I have a waxy surface on here. But who's to say that this is just an art journal page? I want to remove some of this. So I got out this handy dandy palette knife and I started scraping away some of this. Look at this. Now, of course, I'll throw this away. You have to be careful that you don't tear into the paper. I think I started to do that here, but that's okay too. I don't want to tear the paper. I just want to get that thick layer of paint off. And it will leave an impression of what I had on there. Look at this. I really like how it's muted now. And scraping all that paint, my stained glass area there off again, I found the texture that I knew that was behind there. And it was. It didn't disappear. It was still there. And by scraping it off, I can still see the shapes. Now, I know where I painted them, so I immediately know where they are. Somebody who was not familiar with the page would not know that that was part of my stained glass window there. I can still see those little dots, just a faint impression of them along the edge of the page. I kind of scraped into the page here and here, but we can fix that. That's not a problem. Now, what do I want to do with this? Am I still thinking stained glass? And I think I am. And let me say, removing something that you do not like is completely acceptable, especially in an art journal. But artists would do that on canvas, especially if they were doing oil painting. You may see an artist who's doing an oil painting and he'll put in an area and not like it. He'll scrape all that paint away. Well, that's what I did. Instead of flipping to the next page, I wanted to go back to my texture layer that I knew that was there. So I still think that I want to put daffodils in here. I like that concept. I was designing the page and trying to get the concept at the same time, and it really got busy and crowded and convoluted. I hope that I don't do this again. I think I still want to go with the daffodil in a stained glass window concept here. I think I still want the 3 arches, and I want the daffodils. I liked those, but I don't want to get so much on it that it overpowers this background texture. So I'm going to work with that again. I'm going to go back into fast forward and see if I can't bring that out again. What I'm going to do is add some color to my daffodil and to the leaves, because I want those to stand out. I'm just going to color them almost like a coloring book. I might go back in here and emphasize these archers just a little bit more, because I've got those swirls up there but nothing at the top, and the arch kind of disappears. So I might enhance those a little bit more. I'm hoping to be able to push all these dots into the background. I might have to just put a light stain over them. My page is finished. It is still wet, but I've done all that I'm going to do to it. I'm really happy with the result, and what I'm really happy with is that I overworked it and I scraped off that overwork and I reworked it. Don't be afraid to change your page. I don't want to call it a mistake. I don't want to call it anything but what it was. I decided I wanted to go a different path. It wasn't working for me visually. It was too busy. And so I took my palette knife and I scraped off all of that paint. And what I liked about it is that I was able to get back to my bottom layer of crayon texture that I created. Now I worked over that again, but it's still there and it very much adds to it. I pushed the white dots that I had around here that were very stark and popping out. I pushed them back into the page to where they're still there. You still see those white dots there. But I stained them with some acrylic paint. I used this Deco Arts Tradition ultramarine blue, and you can still see that, yeah, there's still some white peeking through, but it's a stained white. It's in the background. You know it's there. It adds texture. I'm very happy with this page. I'm happy with the process that I went through to get there. I'm very happy with this. I think it'll make a really nice page in my 2017 Composite Art Journal. I will see you on the next page.